They don't care about us.
And if you look around, it's black people that are out there advocating for the rights of Palestinians.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to another TikTok video. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Trinidad and this is Ballistic Gist. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you'll be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. And if you're coming from Belinda Trinidad and you're here, you are most welcome. Thank you so much for joining the family. All right, lovelies, let's get into this video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and I thought to share with you guys where this, woman was actually advocating and telling people how the Palestinians are so racist towards black people and why they actually need the black people to support them now, why they were so racist towards them during the days. So a lot of people actually staged this video on my For You page on TikTok, but I was just able to pick out this, stage from Dr. Umar, who actually spoke and tells it all. Like, guys, I'm just gonna roll the clip as well as the stitch from this particular woman who happens to be a Palestinian woman who is married to a black man, I guess. So guys, please just let me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that this channel does not support any form of violence. We're just here for educational purposes, guys. So share this video, subscribe if you've not done that already, and like I said, if you're coming from Belinda's channel, you are most welcome. All right, lovelies, let's get into the video.
Palestinians are racist to black people. And if you look around, it's black people that are out there advocating for the rights of Palestinians. This should be a lesson for Palestinians. How many of you are racist to people that are black Palestinians? Even broader Muslim communities, from Pakistani communities to Bangladeshi communities, Moroccan, Libyan communities, the Gulf communities. How many people say we are Muslim and in the same breath, they mistreat other Muslims? Because
I don't understand what is the purpose of this post when there are Palestinian families, women and children that are suffering right now without food, water, electricity, without anything. I love how she equates, the Khalijis, specifically, and Emiratis, the Saudis, with the Palestinians that are suffering right now this second. Am I going to deny that there is racism and colorism within the Muslim community? No, of course not. It does exist. And yes, I completely understand there are a handful of racist Arabs out there that hate minorities. But the racist behavior of certain Muslims do not represent the actions or the ideas of the oppressed Palestinian families that are in Gaza right now. And as Muslims, we should be aware of who we are slandering and talking bad about when it comes to times of oppression like this for these group of people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, verse 62, or ask them, who responds to the distressed when they cry to him, relieving their affliction, and whoever makes you successors in the earth, is it not another God besides Allah? Yet you are hardly mindful. Ibn Abbas reported the Prophet ﷺ said, beware the supplication of the oppressed, for there is no veil between it and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This woman continuously used Bengali victims for her example. I know what racism feels like as a Bengali. It hasn't been even 100 years yet, tracing back to Winston Churchill and the famines he started. Almost 20 million plus Bengalis passed away because we were seen as less than human because of racism by Muslims and non-Muslims alike. People were more interested in the land of Bangladesh rather than the people that were suffering less than 100 years ago. So you're not going to tell me as a Bengali what it feels like to be mistreated, to be misrepresented, to be ignored by the entire world and be allowed to suffer and no one comes to your aid for help. And at the times of oppression, the only source of any aid or help was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, the Arab and Palestinian community have their fair share of faults as a whole, but what's more important is giving them aid, helping those families that are oppressed, helping and speaking out to people that can help those families, making dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relieves them of what they're going through right now so they didn't suffer the way that us Bengalis did. It's funny how this woman, who's from the UAE, who married a black man, wants to lecture oppressed groups on how to be inclusive. You don't expose the faults of the oppressed, you help them, and then once that situation is being tackled, we move on to other things. But the first thing that this Muslim ummah needs is to help the Muslims that are oppressed right now. Exposing the faults of this community, you're not doing anything to help them out at all. Either you help them out, you advocate for them, or you stay silent. As someone who is part of a group that was almost ethnically cleansed less than 100 years ago, I urge you to stay silent about the Palestinian community.
First of all y'all who got a problem with me because I said I'm focused on black people's problems, well, guess what? You can stay mad. I'm focused on black people's problems. Ain't nobody helping us. You got 27 million Africans in the Congo, displaced, environmental issues, hunger, poor health care. You got 1 million Ethiopians who've been murdered. You got Sudanese who have died. Ain't nobody said nothing about the Sudanese. Ain't nobody said nothing about the Ethiopians. Ain't nobody said nothing about the Congolese. But you want me to cry tears for the Arabs? Listen, I hope the Arabs in the West Bank in Gaza, I hope they get all they get. I hope they are protected. I hope nobody dies. I hope those babies' lives are safe. I hope the women are cared for. I hope that there's no bloodshed, no violence. But if you think I'm going to take time out of struggling for African people, if you think I'm going to stop my agenda to liberate my people to go cry for people who don't cry for me, if you think I'm going to stop what I'm doing and pay attention to what's going on over there when y'all don't even pay attention to what's going on in Africa, y'all don't pay attention to what's going on in Ethiopia, y'all don't pay attention to what's going on in the Congo. The greatest humanitarian crisis in the world is in the Congo, not the West Bank. I said the greatest humanitarian crisis in the world is in the Congo, not the West Bank, not the Gaza Strip, not Israel, but in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So don't tell me I got to cry for whites and browns. I'm crying for black people, and I don't care who don't like it. I don't care who don't like it. You got police and black people in America every day. We got police and black people in America every day. We got a hunger. We got gentrification. We got miseducation. We got mass incarceration. And you want me to go crying for white and brown people? I'm not going to do it. My priority is on Africa and African people. They don't care about us. You got black people in Palestine facing racism. You better go do your research. What about our African brothers and sisters in Palestine who are suffering racism at the hands of the Palestinian Arabs? Y'all ain't said nothing about that. Oh, no. Oh, no. You come to the wrong place for that. And see, what we fail to realize as African people, what we fail to realize as African people is when you start paying attention to other people's struggle, you give the whole world permission to ignore your problems. I don't see Jews taking attention off their problems for black people. I don't see Arabs taking attention off their problems for black people. I don't see Latinos taking attention off their problems for black people. What about all the black people sold into slavery by the Arab nations? Has Palestine spoke out against that? Has Palestine spoke out against all the Africans in Africa, East Africa, being sold into slavery by the Arabs? I ain't heard no Palestinian say nothing about the Arab slave trade against African people. Get out of my face with that. You come to the wrong place. You come to the wrong place.
Like, seriously, lovelies, when I come across this video on my For You page on TikTok, I was like, okay, what is happening? Because I'm so much into, not in support of any people being oppressed. Like, a lot of things even happening in Congo right now, and the media is not even saying anything about it until a particular man was able to, set himself on fire just to get the media's attention. That was when the media started talking about what is happening in Congo. But what's happening in Congo has been happening for so long, for years, and the media is not talking anything or is not saying anything about it until the incident of, the Israel people and the Palestinian people, came on board, and a lot of people started talking about it. The media started bringing and talking about it. That's when we got to know that something like this, a genocide, had been also happening in somewhere like, Congo, Sudan, and all of that. I was like wondering, like, wow. Was it the reason why Dr. Umar was like, okay, he don't want to talk about anything that's happening in Palestine? He even went ahead to tell black people to like stay off from things that is happening in Palestine, don't get yourself involved, because these people were even racist towards, black people living in Palestine, and which we don't even know about. I don't know about it. And a lot of people on TikTok were like stitching the videos, like telling their experiences and all of that. And I was like, oh my goodness, like something like this is happening in Palestine, and we do not know anything about it until this actually came up in limelight. Like, guys, I don't just understand why there's some kind of people, or there's a certain kind of people that when something is happening to, or when they're being oppressed, a lot of people will just come up, especially black people will just come out to bring up their voice, speak on it, help them, and talk about it, and try to get the media to see things about it so as to help these oppressed people. And meanwhile, these black people have been in oppression, like they've been oppressed right from day go, like they've been oppressed and no one is there to help them. And something like this is happening in Congo. Something like this keep on happening in Congo, and it's been neglected for years. It's been neglected for like years. I wouldn't blame Dr. Umar for like trying to like, okay, we have things on our own. We have our own issue to deal with. We have our own thing to do with, like the government or the people is not even trying to come help us. And I wouldn't blame him when he tells black people to just, don't to focus on what is happening in the black community. I wouldn't blame him when he said that, because when I was like, okay, something like this is actually happening, going around in Congo, I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I've been online. I don't know about this thing that's happening in Congo until, was it last 3 weeks when I started posting it on my Belinda Strand, and do you know when I post such videos, it doesn't even go and all of that. Like people don't share it and all of. But when I post one that has to do with Israel and Palestine, that's happening. Then goes then, and I understood that a lot of media, don't like try. They don't actually like to help anything that has to do with people of color and all of that, but they find it joy to help others, and this is something that I really don't like. Like if they want to help people, they should help everyone. There's no one that is so special. There's no one that is to be left behind, because all these people are being on a life. There is no life that is so special compared to the other. So if you're going to fight in a good cause, we should fight for everyone. We should fight for Palestine, Israel, any oppressed, people, Congo, Sudan, and to name but a few. Like we should be able to fight for everyone's cause, not trying to be discriminating. Like, okay, I don't care about people of color. Okay, these people are not like, so let's fight against these people and leave these people. Oh no, this is why when Umar was like talking about this, I was like, but this guy is actually making a lot of sense. Like because I am part of the people that like share this video to try to see what the media can do about it. But I find it out that when I go to TikTok or any other media, I will see a lot of documentaries about what is happening in Palestine, in Israel, but I don't even find out what is happening in Congo and all of that. But just after this man must have set himself on a place just to get the media, to know what is happening, that is when okay, people now started talking about it all because somebody have to do something like that, and this is not supposed to be so. And then coming from a Palestinian woman who is married to a black man trying to tell us how racist these Palestinian people are. Like me, I don't actually care about them being racist towards me. I'm just concerned about those people that are losing their lives, the kids and all of that. This is what I'm concerned about. We just need all of this to stop, guys. I don't know. Just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that this channel or page does not support any form of violence. We're just here for educational purposes, guys. So share this video, subscribe, and if you're coming from Belinda's channel, thank you so much for your love and support. And I will see you love this when I open my next video. And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Don't forget that this channel or page does not support any form of violence. We are just here for educational purposes, guys. So why not share this video, subscribe if you've not done that already, like and leave your thoughts in the comment section. And I will see you lovelies when I upload my next video.